that. The second thing is how to incorporate that into a routine or a workout. You can, with this tube, get a workout that would meet the requirements of strength and resistance training that are recommended by both health guidelines, but also improved performance and decreased injury risk. So the first thing we usually start with, so I'm just going to give you a guideline to a routine. So you start low level just to activate the muscles and get them warmed up. We don't want you going straight into an intense hover. So we formed a 6-stage workout, 6 stages, each focusing on different aspects. So the first we just do, which is just exercises everyone's familiar with, which would just be to begin with crunches, just to activate the core muscles, then move from there to cross crawls, so that you keep your hips stable, try and keep your legs, and it's all about isolating, so making sure that the movement comes from the waist across the body.
You want like the small of your back against the
Always, I mean, you don't hollow out.
Oh, okay.
But you make sure that this is that the lower back isn't lifting. So that's the number one rule. So when we start introducing the exercises that I said, the supine drive, if you can keep your lower back towards the floor, then you can go very low. The minute the lower back starts to lift, you pull back on the range, you wait till you get stronger, and then you increase the range. So you would do something like that, and then maybe a bridge, which we spoke about as one of the injury preventing exercises, just to get warmed up.
And how long do you hold the bridge?
Usually we hold it for about 10 seconds and then slowly lower. We use music. Part of the reason why we use very, very carefully chosen music is to make sure that everything's done in a controlled manner. So the music is there not just because it's entertaining, but because it then allows us to have isometric contractions and move at different rates, and it keeps us controlled as well as of it. So once you're warmed up, we then move into the what I spoke about, the integrated core training. And so we move into hovers. One of the ways in which we can get a good integrated core training just from here without any other equipment is either by lifting, but a small heel lift. So we don't want to go higher than the hip, so keep it small and controlled. And target is to keep the body as still as possible. So you can add arm movements, arm and leg movements, just increasing. Or, one of our favourites is to move from a hover up into a plank, down into a hover, and then but minimising the side to side. So again, the sky's the limit, because everyone's going to move to some extent, but you minimise, keep it controlled, all about trying to keep as straight a line as possible. And if you're not there yet, you can do it on your knees, and the same with the leg taps and the arm taps. Better to do it one level down and be still than take it a level up and be swaying. So once we've done that, at the next stage of our workout is we move to leg strength. Usually incorporating, so this is where you could do, we've said that the backward stepping lunge, this move, is good for injury prevention, but we try and add resistance to it and balance, so you can be lunging and extending and then taking the tube and drawing it up, so you can add a row into it and lunge back. And also side-stepping lunges with the tube. This is probably one that we use often. Grab the cloth part of the handle, press it up to the chest, roll the shoulders back, and then powering out of the heel, you step wide, and then come back to like a squat position. So here, and then you can activate the slings by moving this way. and again rotating from the waist. And then you'd want to do the same on the other side, so that you don't walk around in circles.
Right.
Then the next one, we want to get even further into the glutes, so not just leg strength, but really, really target the glutes. And again, this is where we can do, so if you found the crab walk, the back, forward, forward, easy, if you found that easy, you're probably the only person in the universe that ever has. Because I've seen incredibly muscly, huge men with their eyes water, so congratulations. But others are to squat and heel lift, trying to keep the body upright. So can you, yeah. So with an eccentric heel raise, squat and lift. And the target is to keep your,
Oh, right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to tilt,
Not wobble. Yeah.
squat, and that requires, yeah. And you should be feeling, so the leg just moves straight back on an angle, and you can do it without the squat, just the eccentric heel raise. So it seemed like you needed the orange tube.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
that was
much
the
better.
answer. There you go,
Yeah, it's
Amy.
much better.
Yeah. And we have black for the next level up. I've never seen anyone. Well, I used it the first time and I regret it. So just the heel raise. And again, if you sort of tilt the opposing hip out a bit, you'll keep your body upright, keep your shoulders back. Good. So that we move deep. Then the other main exercise, if you remember, was the side plank.
Mm-hmm.
So you would move on to that. So again, you'd start with the elbow under the shoulder, elbow, heel, hip, heel in line. First, you lift from the waist, then press the forearm down, lift up either onto the knee, and then into a full side plank. And then you can, if you want to add the challenge, you can lift one leg or the bottom leg for variation. Again, trying to keep everything still. That should be quite intense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after we've done that, the last part of the workout, we work the back and the shoulders. One of the exercises we're currently doing for that, you can do these sorts of exercises. Leg extensions, and again, your abdominals are on the floor, but they're not actually collapsed onto the floor. And squeezing the glute and pointing the toe, small heel lift. But the idea is to keep the movement smaller and isolated, so you don't want to put strain on the lower back. And that you should feel that, again, that in your glutes, but also here. But one we're doing right now, which is, again, using the tube. You can put the handles over the feet. And then the sky's the limit with this one, because if you want to make it really hard, you can grab closer to your feet. So you make the tube, you change the tube's resistance. And then you can draw row back, opening the chest, and then use the resistance on the way back. That's where the tube differs from weights. Because if you weights, you'd allow gravity to take you back. Resistance takes you back, and then a wide row. Open, shoulder blades come together, and back. Again, you're working the back of the shoulders and the back. Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, and you feel it and your biceps. So basically, if you run through that, you've done your biceps here, rear shoulders, lats, you've done your glutes, you've done here, you've done your thighs. You've pretty much done a workout for the whole body. Here, if you roll forward from the forearm, you're getting your triceps. So you're pretty much getting a whole strength workout, maybe not some calf raises and you'd be done. But it's the two points would be adding the balance is going to make the workout more efficient, and then having the integrated exercises makes the workout more efficient. So we all know, everyone knows that core training is better for performance and injury prevention, but it's how to do that in the best way possible. Integration and the balance.
Right. And I've heard that core exercises and doing things for the core helps people with lower back problems.
It does, and prevention though is much more efficient, because
right.
you shouldn't be going into the planks. You shouldn't be doing that
if you have
a lower back problem.
Right.
So the idea is the minute it hurts your lower back, but so we wouldn't recommend those exercises for someone with a back injury.
Sure.
They have to but these sort of like the lower level of these exercises are recommended for rehabilitation and remedial. But this sort of program is really for someone who doesn't want to get that sort of an injury. Yeah, and always the lower back is a guide. The minute it starts to hit your lower back, if you're in a hover, the minute it hits you, you drop back a level, get the core strength, and then go back in, is what we recommend.